Yeah, shalom, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video, and anytime in the future you're watching this video. I wanted to share with you all. Um, I was continued to read the book of Enoch, and in case you want to know, the book of Enoch actually was the only book of all the scriptures that was written before the flood. So I wanted to actually tell you the documented truth through the book of Enoch of what actually took place before the flood of Noah and why the earth had to be flooded in the first place, because that was a judgment upon the fallen messengers, the hybrids, and the wicked human beings. That was all, it was very bad before the flood. So wait until you hear why the earth had to be flooded in the first, because that's how bad it was. It was so horrible. The sin and wickedness had really increased so rapidly before the flood, to a point where Noah and his family were the only righteous people out of the whole world at the time before the flood. So I just wanted to tell you all, read to you some chapters of what actually happened before the flood, and don't be surprised, because this is, this stuff, this stuff is actually repeating nowadays too. So the stuff that happened back then is happening right now at the same time, because we're living in the last generation, and Yahusha the Messiah will return really soon. Now, because we are living in the days of Noah, we are living in the days of Noah, where it has increased throughout the world. Now, I wanted to share with you all, through the book of Enoch itself, of what happened in details before the flood of Noah. And I hope that this reading will really favor you guys and help you all understand, what was really taking place, because yeah, it was so bad. Those messengers that rebelled with Satan, yeah, they did so many wicked things on the earth. But yeah, now I'm going to read to you what exactly happened. All right, so, we're going to start off with Enoch chapter 6 through chapter 10, because that's one group of chapters talking about what happened before the flood. And then after that, I'm going to be reading chapter 64 through 67. That also describe what happened before the flood also. Now, now I'm going to read to you chapter 6 through chapter 10 in the book of Enoch. And it came to be, when the children of men had multiplied, and in those days were born unto them good looking and lovely daughters. Oh, the women were so beautiful at that time. Continuing on. And the messengers, the children of the heavens, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come and let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and bring forth children. That is pure disgusting as you think about it. Like, literally, this was literally before, they all rebelled and fell from heaven, onto the earth. So, yeah, disgusting. So they actually literally wanted to have sex with humans. Okay. And Shamyatsa, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual curses, not to abandon this plan, but to do this matter. And they all swore together and bound themselves by mutual curses upon them. So literally, all the fallen messengers, before they fell, well, they were messengers before they fell. They all literally agreed to do that sin and agreed to take the punishment unto all of them instead of unto one that's the leader of them. So this is really what happened on that time. Verse 6, and they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Himron, and they called it Mount Himron because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual curses upon them, and they are the names of their leaders. Shamlatsats, their leader, Arklabah, Ramiel, Kokabel, Tamuel, Ramiel, Daniel. Oh, there's literally one named Daniel. Okay. Yetzikel, Barakil, Ashahel, Armoros, Batarel, Ananel, Tsatsquelel, Shem Shapael, Satarel, Susarel, and Yamarel and Sariel. Yeah, though I did my best to pronounce the names. I can't pronounce it perfectly like that, but that's the best I can do with that. They are their chiefs of tens, so they were all like the leaders of the fallen messengers. All the others together with them took themselves wives, and each chose one for himself, and they all began to go into them and defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots and made them know to know plants. By the way, they started teaching the humans witchcraft. That's basically what they're doing. They started teaching them witchcraft and magic and stuff. That's what happened. Um, and that's disgusting. Like, these fallen messengers, or demons, in other words, literally had sex with human women. Now that is what I call disgusting. All right. And they became pregnant, and they brought forth great giants whose height was 3,000 ells. So yeah, these human women bore humongous babies. They became really tall giants. That's what happens when you mix a spirit seed with a human seed. Oh, no wonder why they became giants, because that's not fully human. That's a hybrid. A hybrid between a demon and a human. Now that is disgusting. All right. Who could the giants turn against them and devoured mankind? So what happened was the men were trying to feed them food, but there wasn't enough food for them to eat, so that's why they started eating up the men. Yeah, those giants had a hungry appetite, all right. Their appetite was so huge, they literally had to eat everything. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. And the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Okay, that is disgusting. So they just constantly was drinking animal blood and human blood and eating up humans and all the animals and everything. That's what those giants were doing. They were literally eating up all the meat they could find that's alive. All the meat they could find. They just kept just eating up things alive. Now that is definitely very wicked of what they were doing back then. All right, so continuing on. And by the way, when they sinned against the animals, I need to tell you this real quick. They not only they had sex with human women and bore giants, but they did the same thing to animals. That that's why they had dinosaurs were the giant hybrids between reptiles and these demons, and birds too, and fish, all these monstrous sea creatures that existed back then. You know, monstrous mammals, weird creatures, you know, all of this stuff was because they literally sinned against the animals I just read. So I don't think it was just eating the animals, but it's also like literally creating hybrids out of them, making them giants. That's why the dinosaurs were so big. They were really tall and everything. These dinosaurs were so tall, and you know, and they were really huge. Just like, yeah, dinosaurs existed before the flood. That's what happened. But they were wiped off from the face of the earth. See, that's why there's dinosaur fossils, because they were wiped off by the flood of Noah. All right, continuing on. And that's contrary to what science says, because, you know, really, they actually lived at the same time as those giant hybrids, anyways. All right, here we go. This is chapter 8 now. So I was reading from, yeah, chapter 6 to chapter 10. So here's chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to, and Azazel's another fallen messenger, taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art and the adornments, the cost of all coloring, bracelets. Oh, you know why we have swords and knives and breastplates and different designs like that? Because we literally learned that from the fallen messengers. They taught the humans back then these things. So it wasn't a human invention. A human didn't come up with that. They were actually taught by fallen messengers to make these things. Well, isn't that surprising? Probably shocking to you by now that these things were literally ideas of the demons. And there arose much wickedness, and they committed whoring, and they were led astray, and became corrupt and became their ways. Shemyasta, which is another fallen messenger, enchantments and root cuttings. Yeah, witchcraft using plants. In Armrose, the resolving of enchantments. Yeah, more witchcraft. Barakel, astrology, talking about the false astrology, the twisted version, the horoscopes, all that stuff. That's from that fallen messenger. Kokabel, the constellations, again talking about horoscopes, the false astrology, the twisted message. You know, those horoscope zodiac, you know, things you see like, oh, here is your sign today. You know, that is all deception from the fallen messengers, as you read right there. And Yehazel, the knowledge of the clouds. Maybe that's why there's meteor. Well, the signs of the earth. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Misel, the signs of the sun, and Seraphel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to the heavens. Chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel. These are arch messengers or archangels, in other words. Looked down from the heavens and saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said to one another, the earth made without inhabitants cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of the heavens. And now to you, the set apart ones of the heavens and the beings of men, make their petition, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to Yahuwah of the ages, the masters of the masters, the master of the mighty one, sovereign of sovereigns, and the Alua of the ages, the throne of your esteem is unto all the generations of the ages, and your name set apart and magnificent and blessed unto all the ages. And you made all, and you have power over all, and all are naked and open in your sight, and you see all matters, and none can hide himself from you. You see what Azazel has done, who has taught all unrighteousness on the earth and revealed the eternal secrets which were in the heavens, which men were striving to learn. And Shamayatha, who you have given authority to bear rule over his associates. They have gone unto the daughters of men upon the earth and have slept with the women and have defiled themselves and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and by this whole earth has been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now see, the beings of those who have died are crying and making their petition to the gates of the heavens, and their lamentations have ascended and cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which were wrought upon the earth. And you know all matters before they come to pass, and you see these, and you allow them, and you do not say to us what we are to do to them in regards to these. And then said the Most High, set apart and great one, spoke, and sent to Uriel the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah and tell him and reveal to him the end that is approaching, and the whole earth will be destroyed, and a flood is about to come upon the whole earth and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct Noah that he may escape, him and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again, Yahuwah said to Raphael, Bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudel, and cast him in there, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the messengers have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and all the children of men may not perish through all the secrets that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And Yahuwah said to Gabriel, Proceed against the half-breeds and the reprobates, and against the children of whoring, and destroy the children of the watchers from amongst men. Send them one against the other, and they may destroy each other in battle, for they shall not have length of days. And no request they make of you shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf, for they hope to live in eternal life, that each one of them will live 500 years. And Yahuwah said to Michael, Go and bind Shemashah and his associates who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment and of their complete end, till the judgment that is forever and ever is ended. And in those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, to the torment and the prison, of which they shall be confined forever. And whoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from here on be bound together with them to the end of all generations, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wicked from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove blessings. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forever. And then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live till they bring forth thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age they shall complete in peace. And then the whole earth shall be tilled in righteousness, and all shall be planted with trees, and be full of blessings. And all the desirable trees shall be planted in it, and they shall plant vines on it, and the vines which they plant upon it shall yield wine in abundance. As for all seed which is sown upon, each measure shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. The earth from all oppression and of all unrighteousness, from all sin, from all wickedness, from all the uncleanness that is wrought upon the earth, to destroy off from the earth. And all the children of men shall become righteous, and all the nations shall offer adoration and shall praise me, and all shall worship before me. And the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, from all punishment, from all torment, and I will never again send upon it from generation to generation and forever. So yeah, that's talking about, judgment regarding the flood and all that stuff. Now let me see my notes real quick. All right, I just finished reading chapter 6 through chapter 10, so now I'm gonna go to 64 to 67. So see, Yahuwah sent the messengers to warn Noah about it, because Noah and his family were the only righteous during this wicked things that was going on throughout the earth before the flood. All right, so 64 to 67. Yeah, this is going to be this is more in detail when Noah received the revelation stuff. Okay, chapter 64. In other forms I saw hidden in that place, I heard the voice of the messengers saying, "These are the messengers who descended to the earth and revealed what was hidden to the children of men and seduced the children of men into committing sin." Chapter 65 to 64 was only 2 verses. And in those days Noah saw the earth, that it had sunk down and its destruction was near. And he arose from there and went to the ends of the earth and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, "Hear me, hear me, hear me." And I said unto him, "Tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, and that earth is such an evil plight and shaken, if perhaps I shall perish with it." And after that there was a great commotion on the earth, and the voice was heard from the heavens, and I fell on my face. And Enoch my grandfather came and stood by me and said unto me, "Why have you cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping?" And a command has gone forth from the presence of Yahuwah concerning those who dwell on the earth, that the ruin is accomplished, because they have learned all the secrets of the messengers, and all the violence of the adversaries, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and a messenger stands therein, and that messenger is the head. And after that my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand, and raised me up, and said unto me, "Go, for I have asked Yahuwah of hosts regarding this commotion on the earth." And he said unto me, "Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment have been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever, because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learned, and the earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And these they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are the condemned. For as for you, my son, Yahuwah of hosts knows that you are pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. And he has destined your name from among the set apart ones, and will preserve you amongst those who dwell on the earth, and have destined your righteous seed both for sovereignty and for great honors, and from your seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous, and set apart ones without number forever. Well, that's a beautiful promise to Noah. Noah's seed, it's like the same thing that Yahuwah told Abraham too. It's very beautiful. Let me see. I'm just double checking something real quick. All right. Okay, so I just finished chapter 65. I'll do 66 and 67. And after that, he showed me the messengers of punishment who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth in order to bring the judgment and destruction on all who dwell on the earth. And Yahuwah of hosts gave a command to the messengers who were going forth that they shall not cause the waters to rise, but to hold them in check. For those messengers were over the powers of the waters, and I went away from the presence of Enoch. Chapter 67. And in those days the word of Yahuwah came unto me, and he said unto me, Noah, your lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprighteous. And now the messengers are making a wooden object, or an ark, the ship. And you know what? The messengers were the ones that built the ark. That's interesting. I just found that out in the book of Enoch. All right. And when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it, and there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall come upon, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will establish your seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with you. And it shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiply on the earth in the name of Yahuwah. For he shall imprison those messengers who have sown up unrighteousness in the burning valley, which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me, in the west among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great earthquake and a convulsion of waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal and from the earthquake in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters, that valley of messengers who had led astray, burnt beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed the streams of fire, where these messengers are punished, who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the sovereigns and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now the spirit is full of lust, then they may be punished in their body, for they have denied Yahuwah of hosts, and see their punishment daily, yet do not believe in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies became severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before Yahuwah of hosts none shall utter an idle word. For the judge shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the spirit of Yahuwah. And in those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those messengers are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the messengers ascend, this water of springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, this judgment with which the messengers are judged is a witness for the sovereigns and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the sovereigns and the lust of their body. Therefore they will not see and will not believe. Those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Yeah, so that is the summary from the book of Enoch itself of what exactly happened before the flood and what was, and how Noah was informed and regarding the ark and everything like that. So I hope you all just, enjoyed this video, and now you know what happened before the flood and why the earth had to be flooded in the first place. That's how bad it was, and sometime very soon, when Yahusha the Messiah returns, this earth, instead of it being flooded again, because Yahuwah put out a rainbow to promise, to not flood the earth again. But this time the earth is going to be destroyed by fire, upon the return of Yahusha the Messiah. It's going to be destroyed by fire this time instead of another flood. So yeah, so that is basically what happened in those days before the flood. So yeah, well, I hope you all enjoy this video, and shalom to you all.